But it's now time for this week's difficult conversation. And, of course, it is the Easter holiday weekend and everyone is enjoying the spring weather. It's lovely out there. It's great. But with their loved ones and friends and family. But what about the people who don't have anyone to spend time with during the holidays? Are you feeling lonely? Stay with us. We've got so much to do. You don't need to leave. GP News will be by your side. And it's very devastating for some individuals. And studies show that it can lead to depression and anxiety. So for a season about rejoicing and eating chocolate, it's arguably less enjoyable doing it all by yourself. Although I'm a loner. I quite like it. Well, joining me to talk about this is divorce coach Sarah Davidson. Sarah, nice to see you, darling.
Oh, nice to be back. Thanks, Nana.
So what is it then? I know I've got a friend, a really good friend of mine, and she cannot be on her own at all. Like, literally. She's like, OK, I'm going to go see some friends now. Like, even if there's 10 minutes, I've got 10 minutes I've got to do. Whereas I love my own company. If I had an Easter to myself, I'd be on my own. But some people can't handle it, and actually some people don't have such full lives to actually be on their own in that way, especially if they've just been divorced.
Yeah, if you're going through a breakup, any time like this, like Easter, which is traditionally a time to be with your family, if they're not there or you're going through a breakup, that shines a light on being alone. And for some people, that's really tough. You have a great strength, lots of energy, you're super busy, so it's great that you can cope. A lot of people find it really hard to be on their own, and even for half an hour. You know, some people really find that incredibly hard, especially if they've been with someone for so long, for years and years. They're not used to it.
But what is it like for you? Because you, I mean, a lot of people might not know your story. So talk to me about your story, because you're a divorce coach, but people might not know how you came to do that.
Yes, so about 13 years ago, I was married. I've been married for about 3 years, and I found out that my husband no longer wanted to be married to me. And not only that, he'd found someone else, was madly in love, and they set about starting a family very, very soon after that.
God, that's tough, isn't it? Like, they've just gone off and that's it.
It was devastating because I didn't see it coming. And I think I've found out since that that's the way it happens for so many people. You're sort of trucking along. You know things aren't great, maybe in some areas, but you think you'll work through it. You've got married, you said your vows, and that means you'll overcome anything. And I think that hit me like a freight train. And I was already coaching at that point, and I was doing a lot of that ugly crying I've told you about before.
Told me about that.
Yeah, that real where you just look horrendous. But I did a lot of that.
I used to do that, but in the mirror, to see how I looked. Is it that bad? Do I look ugly?
It's pretty bad. But, you know, coming through that, I realised I had a choice. And this is what I talk about a lot now. You know, it's not what happens to you in life that defines you. It's what you do about it that makes you the person you are. So you can go through really tough times, and that can define you. But if you decide to turn that around and make it even your superpower, then it's possible to go on and be happy and confident and move on.
But what about, like, Easter? So, like, poignant moments like now? Because, you know, like, you've got Christmas, you've got Easter, you've got all those big sort of moments, those emotional moments. What did you do? Your first Easter, your first Christmas, and what was that like?
I think you've really got a plan. Like, for me, like, even this weekend, I'm years down and I had my family over, I had friends over. You've got a plan for your weekends, because otherwise that being alone can really hit you. But I'm very comfortable, like you, in my own space now. I love being able to choose what I watch on television. But a lot of people say to me...
Was he in charge of the remote?
Exactly. But a lot of people will focus on it glass half full and see the same situation, but like, oh, my goodness, I'm on my own all weekend. What am I going to do? For me, I'm like, oh, OK, I've got some time to myself. What can I do that I'm going to enjoy? So it really is about changing the way you look at things. It's not always easy, though, I get that, but there are things you can do to make that easier.
Like buy yourself a load of Easter eggs and smash them with a hammer. 10 in a row. See how fast you can go.
They've actually got rooms now. Have you seen them? They're like rooms you can go and smash things up.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, you can actually pay to go in and break everything in there. It's great for anger management and just releasing some of that tension.
Yeah, you know, I'd probably go, oh, no, I don't want to break that. I want to spoil it. That's really nice. Probably try and put the things back together again and time myself. So talk to me about what you do then, because, you know, people often think, OK, so I've been through a breakup, you know, I mean, did you use dating apps and stuff like that over the Easter? I was reading about one MP, a Labour MP, who was saying that she got divorced and then she ended up using, like, dating apps, and she's currently with someone and stuff. Well, what's your take on these dating apps?
Look, I think it's great to build your confidence, you know, but you've got to be aware. And before you go on them, you've really got to work out what you want, because otherwise you're going to repeat the same patterns over and over again. So taking some time out to work out, you know, what you want, but also what you need from a relationship. So you might need emotional intelligence, you might need loyalty, you might need more kindness than maybe your last partner. So if you know that when you're going in, you can kind of interview them, if you like, to sort of figure out, are these people going to be compatible with me? But I think dating apps are a good way to start that sort of flirting, getting to know people.
Are you on any?
I am.
Really?
Yeah. I know you're not, though.
I can't do that. They'll already, like, if I go on a date, they'll Google me, they go, I don't like her. She said this about that and that about that. And all now, I don't agree with her. At least you're more of a mystery to them, so they might,
Yeah, exactly. And it's fun, I don't think I've had any success with dating apps, but it's actually interesting to see how they work because there's new ones coming out all the time. So it's interesting for me.
Well, they don't want you to find someone. Dating apps don't want you to find someone. Their whole raison d'etre is that you don't find someone. And even if you have found someone on their app, they still send you other possibilities. What about this one?
Yes, exactly. And also, they always send the one that they think you're going to like, but I'm not sure if they're actually real to start with. And then you start flicking, and then they gradually get less and less attractive. So it's an interesting one. But the thing is, it's not just about looks. You've got to go deeper than that. And so that's why...
Why? I didn't need to go deeper than the looks. Anyway, actually, I don't notice what guys look like, to be fair. And that's not my first thing that I look at. I sort of look... Obviously, you've got to be attracted to them to start with.
Yeah.
But the first thing that I think is, how much money you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many things, but
joking.
looking for what you need, I think, is important if you're going to date anyone, rather than just running into something because there is that physical attraction. Unless that's what you want. You can always go for Mr. Right Now or Miss Right Now. That's OK as well, to build your confidence.
And the signs for a narcissist, what are they?
Oh, there's a lot of them. So, too good to be true, that love bombing in the early days where you're amazing, they make you feel incredible, putting you on a pedestal, grandiose promises of being, looking after you forever. Really, that is, if it feels too good to be true, usually it is. The mask will start to slip. And I think the important thing is believe them when they show you who they really are, because they will. There will be signs, there will be warning signs. And very often we think, I can change them. When they get to know me, they'll be different with me than they were with their last partner. But rarely is that true.
It's always good to find out why they left the last one as well.
Yeah, but actually with a narcissist, you're not going to find that out. They'll tell you the version of the story that's going to work to reel you in. So the reality, you won't know. So again, watching out for signs of being dishonest, deceit, lies, again, anything like that. As soon as that comes up, deploy your parachute, exit the building, do not stay around to change.
Look, because sometimes you get reeled in, you think, oh, well, no, they are nice, and they're not. Well, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
Listen, Sarah, so what have you got coming up and how do people find out more about what you're doing?
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm running a 2-day retreat, actually, in June, where people can come live with me for 2 days. It's a way to fast-track you through your breakup. But we also do lots of online support groups as well. So if you are alone this weekend and struggling, you can always jump on one of those. They're free, so you can come on and see how they work.
So online support group, where do they find that? It's a free one? It's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's free for a while, so you can join for about 8 hours and get some help and support. So sarahdavidson.com is my website, or Sarah Davison Divorce Coach on Instagram.
Well, listen, Sarah, it's very lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
There you go, a little bit of Easter cheer. If you're about to break up with someone or they've broken up with you, don't worry, don't panic, because Sarah's got all the answers. Right.